Hey guys, so as you know, because of my Chronicles of Discogs videos, I have been going on a bit of a purge. This has not been an easy process. I've been plucking out hundreds of records out of here to figure out what needs to go and what needs to stay. And it's been a process. It's definitely been a process. I've been combing through, I've been figuring this out. It's been quite the journey. And I gotta say, it's I've been listening to you guys. I've really been listening and taking your advice. Some of you left a comment on my video, the very first Discogs Diary video that I did, talking about me being a new seller because of having to do the purge. And so some of you said, you know, sell your doubles, sell things you don't feel like you're gonna second guess and regret. Not gonna lie to you, I've already regretted a couple of them because I already have sold a couple of them, and it's feeling like it's gonna continue to do that. Sadly though, those are the ones that are gonna garnish me the bill, you know, being able to pay those bills, man. So it sucks. But on the brighter side, I have been totally taking your advice, man. I really have. And I'm gonna take you on the journey of purging, how to purge, what to purge, how, you know, the how-tos of purging, basically. So let's get into this video. Hey guys, it would mean a lot if you would subscribe and like this video, and it would really mean a lot if you hit that bell too. Because sometimes there are people that are messaging me saying they're not even able to see my regular videos. And that's because you haven't been hitting the bell, so you're not being able to get updated on those weekly videos. So if you want to get updated, hit that bell. And please like the video, man. It really helps fight the antifungal virus that is the YouTube algorithm. So I'm definitely, as I said, going on a purge, bit of a purge lately. And I'm not the only one that has done it. I mean, a few people have been on major purges. And somebody who I know who has publicly done their purging, who I consider like the purge king, is Channel 33. RPM, Channel 33, RPM, yeah. Channel 33, RPM, we love you, baby. Frankie, I see you. I always see you. We adore you. Frankie and Sherry, please let us know what you do to combat this crazy.
Yeah, so purging records. I did a purge of my collection this past summer, and I felt it was really time. The way I went about it, there's some method to my madness. I've been working at home, so I've had more time here in the music room while working, and I kind of went through my entire collection, and records I hadn't heard for a while, I kind of pulled them out and I listened to those on the turntable. And afterwards I thought, am I going to listen to this record again? Did I love this record? Or kind of, you know, can I do without it? If I haven't heard it in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I mean, would I really miss it? And that's sort of the process I went through them. The ones I thought I could live without, I took out, I kind of left them in a pile for a while. Then I revisited that pile, and some I put back in the shelves. And I ended up with 200 or 300 records that I hadn't listened to in a while, and I knew I wasn't going to listen to again. And those are the ones I decided to purge. Now, in terms of setting the prices for those records, I went on Discogs, found out the value of them, and then, you know, I deducted, I don't know, like 15% or something from the Discogs price. I mean, you're selling on Discogs, you're selling to the world. I was selling locally, so I had to be reasonable, I figured. Then I put an ad up on Facebook Marketplace, took some pictures of all those records, and I got to tell you, all 200 or 300 of those records went within one day. And I generally got what I was asking for. I mean, if people were going to buy a whole bunch of records, I gave them a bundle price or whatever, but I didn't meet any unreasonable people, and I thought my prices were reasonable, so it worked out. Now, this wasn't the first time I've purged my collection. I've done this 2, 3 times over the years. And again, it just comes down to the fact that, like many of you, I have more records than I have time left in my life, probably, to listen to them all again. So it's just a matter of assessing what is really worth keeping and what could maybe find its way to a better home. I've regretted maybe a couple of albums I've sold over the years, but generally I've had no regrets, and that's for mainly one reason, well, two reasons. One, I hadn't listened to those records. And two, I always put the money to good use. So I haven't purged just for the sake of purging. I've always kind of had a goal in mind. So with my last clearance or the purge of the collection, those 200 or 300, I took that money and I bought a new turntable. I've wanted a Technics SL 1200 for the longest time. So the money I made from my last record sale was more than enough to buy a used Technics SL 1200 in really good condition. I used the rest of my money to take my family on a small trip this summer. So money went to good causes. So for those reasons, I don't think I'll have any regrets about that at all. The only thing I have regretted selling over the years is maybe some of my gear. The records I've been pretty much okay with, but I've sold some pretty sweet turntables and speakers over the years, and I kind of wish maybe I had some of that, but still, I wish I still maybe had some of that, but it may also be nostalgia speaking, because really, how many turntables does one person need? I already have like 6 or 7 right now, and you can only listen to, one at a time anyway, so maybe it's more nostalgia or just the memory of those pieces of gear that I miss more than the actual gear. Plus, there was a time, like 10 years ago at a garage sale, it was way easier to find this vintage gear. It's a lot more difficult to find now, so maybe when I sold some of it, I thought, well, I can always replace this down the road someday if I do in fact want it back. Nonetheless, even with the gear, I put all that money to good use. I sold old gear and I used that money and I pooled it to buy new or better gear. So again, there's always an end. There's always a finish line set. There's always a goal I have in mind when doing these purges. So for those reasons, I think that's why I've had few, if any, regrets about getting rid of any of that sort of stuff.
So there you have that. That's advice from Frank to me and you, as this is not an easy journey. It's definitely not. I have been going through quite a bit. I've got bags full, bags that I am setting a set price on. Bags that kind of look like this. I'll show you real quick. Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Editing, editing, editing. You're not seeing until now. There you go. So they're gonna look like this, sort of. This is a well-known store here. Yes, shout out to the stores. But it's gonna be like that. I'm gonna put a very fair price on them. I'm talking real fair. Yes. So I'm putting a fair price, maybe like $40, $40 each, and just move it. I like to move it, right? Boo 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 doo 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 doo. Do y'all know this song? So I have been doing that whole bag thing, and I've been letting go a lot of the cheaper stuff that way. And I also have along the racks here, I've got the ones that are like more higher dollar records. Those are the ones that I figured, like, I don't want to get minced and chinced on it at the record store, so I'd rather just sell it for Discogs. I've got a bit of a setup here going on. I've really thoroughly plucked. Man, this is not easy, but you know what? I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people have done a few of these, some great and some not, because they've lived in regret, and they've let go of some really great things. Actually, somebody in the comments down below, I'll highlight the comment here if I can find it. Excellent comment. But he gave some advice saying he did 2 really big purges in his life. And one purge went bad, one purge phenomenally. And the first purge was the one that he did badly because, of course, it was the first time he ever did it. So he let go of a lot of great classic punk stuff and stuff that you can't really get as easy now, 45s and all that stuff. It's not easy in the punk world to recoup when you let it go. So you see, when he did his second purge, it was a lot easier for him because he figured he's got the science down from the first. He learned his lessons from the first and did a lot easier of a purge this time, letting go of things that, 1, he doesn't really listen to, 2, things that he possibly has doubles of, and 3, things that he's kind of grown out of. You gotta think about it. Sometimes there's music here that's been here for, I don't know, 20 years almost, that you grow out of. You really do. You're not going to listen to it anymore. Toodaloo it. Toodaloo it. That's the best way to purge. You know, and it's made it a lot easier for me to go through this process, knowing that I can just toodaloo it. Knowing that it's not my musical phase anymore. And that's the thing, as you grow older, you go through these musical phases, and it makes the process a lot easier to bear. You sit there and ask yourself, have I outgrown this record? And if it's an easy question, really. And if it's that answer that you didn't really expect or inevitably knew, hit the road, Jack. Woo! Yeah. So let me show you what I've done. I have a rack here as well that literally says to goes. Yeah, it's almost like a drive-through, honey. Next order, you know. But it's just one of those things, sadly. But I can show you my process. So this is going to be an awkward one to film, but here we go. This is going to be all the kind of stuff that I'm letting go of already. Down here, I'm still sorting some stuff out. That's why I've got some solo panels here. Combing through the stuff that I sadly need to toodaloo on. I even have it saying up here, it says right up there, it says two goes, sadly. Like a damn drive-through, damn it. But yeah, it's sad, you know, you've got some fun things on here. Can y'all see? This is not easy to shoot. I had to rethink this. But there you have that. Hope that gives you kind of a bit of a comb through. I'm driving you nuts, I know. You know, there are certain things you will lose the memory of, but, you know, hopefully you can create new ones. Side note, this is an excellent record. Unity. Phenomenal record. But there are certain things where you gotta realize, like, if you're not listening to it, you gotta toodaloo it. Alright, sweetie, I hope that process helped you in any way, from the awkward camera recording to the weird segues in between this. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm going through this process with you together. We are learning how to do this, you know? I never really felt comfortable purging because I always kind of felt like a bit of a archivist, so to speak. I really love the stuff that I've learned and enjoyed along the way, but you need to do these for several reasons at times, and it's not only a financial game, it's also an evolution musically to a new phase of your life as well. Though at times you feel like, hey, damn it, I really don't want to do this, but I have to. There are also times where you feel like you'd gladly willing to purge. Sometimes it was nice to go through this just to remember, you know? You're going through the memories of the stuff that you have, and you're really sitting there and going through the memories of what you did, when you bought it, how fun it was, the first time you listened to it. All those flashbacks come like in 10 seconds of when you look at it. It's like, you know, it's just this vision of, so it's a bolt of lightning, you know? And that feeling, it's kind of a cool feeling, you know? You got this whole memory bank of stuff, of all the things you've done and all the interesting times going through it, you know? So even going through it, it's fun in a weird way. Maybe it's the organizational aspect of me, I don't know. But I really thoroughly enjoyed going through the purge. As annoying as and as messy as purges can be, note, purges can be messy, yes. You will be thoroughly annoyed during the process of your purge, from the beginning to end, until the purge is over. You can't wait until it's finished, because you just are going to be sick and tired of the mess that you go through during your purge. Loads of records on the floor, loads of records, you know, you got a maybe pile sometimes too, so you got to keep that in mind. And it's an ever-changing pile. You're moving your piles in different places all the time. keep all of this in mind when you're purging. But I want you to know that though it seems strenuous and devastating, it can also strangely feel fun and uplifting and fulfilling at times too. To note that you are also opening up yourself to a new musical phase if you want to. You know, the option is there because you're filling yourself with a new musical void on your shelf, you know? Makes it titillating. So it's not over yet. As a digger, you will always dig, but you will dig in a new city, a new camp, as untouched soil to dig at. So I'm just saying, look forward to it as well, as the tears may come. The tears will dry on their own, as Amy said. So I will, with that, leave you and bid you adieu. Toodaloo, darlings. I hope some of this was educational as much as it was rambulational. Take with it what you will. All right, darlings. Toodaloo, darling. Toodaloo. Bam! Man, I kind of babbled on that one, but I hope something came out of that.